Hello, all you wonderful people out there, and welcome to our Walt Disney Treasures Wave 2 videos. We're looking at the complete Goofy, which was in one single volume covering all of the Goofy shorts. And you'll notice this one is different. The 10s were stamped with the authenticity numbers on the 10s. There are no certificate of authenticity cards in these. So you can see I've got 4,274 out of 125,000. So that's a really good, really low number 10. But like I said, there is no card with these. The first two waves were done that way. Beginning with the third wave, they started giving the certificate of authenticities on a separate cardboard card on the inside. So you could look at them in the store and see what the numbers were and pick the lowest number to buy them on those first two waves. And that's exactly what I did. But that was not the case after that. It was a mystery. You bought it, took it home, opened it up, and then you could see what number you got. And then here, the first three waves, as we previously discussed, had these bands around the 10s, and they brought it back on wave 9 with the Zorros, but waves 4 through 8, excuse me, did not have these bands on them. So now we'll give you a look at the discs here. And Goofy's one of my favorite characters. I like him. I like Goofy stuff. So Goofy is cool in my book. I like him more than Donald Duck. I like Goofy, Pluto. Pluto's cool too. None against Donald. I just like Goofy more. That's all. And here we've got our booklet, which they were pretty much all the same with Walt and Mickey there, at least for the most part. And then we've got Walt's portrait there, which is always on that first front page, with the exception of on the front lines. And the comment there at the bottom is a little different on this one than what is on the later ones. The later ones, they tend to reuse some of them. And Mickey's almost always sitting there on that first letter, except for on the front lines, being the one exception where he's not. Trying not to damage my booklet, but I want to kind of get it folded flat enough for you to be able to see it well as too. So trying to find that happy medium there. I want to document all these, but I don't want to damage my collection either, so don't want to get too aggressive flattening out the booklet. And I hear Leonard Maltin had a lot to do with this series being produced, and thank you for that. That was a great accomplishment in my opinion, as these sets were definitely, just as they were called, treasures. I mean, having all the Goofy shorts in one place, how cool is that? You know, pretty darn cool, to answer my own question. Most of the time they had some artwork on that back page and all of the disc contents on these, but not at this point, not on this one. And you'll see the back of this, it lists the three included in Wave 2 that Mickey Mouse will cover in a Mickey Mouse series, and we're going to look at these two today in this video. And then Wave 1, which had Mickey Mouse in Living Color, Disneyland USA, Silly Symphonies, and Davy Crockett, which we're going to get to. Now, Davy Crockett did get released separately. I don't know if it was part of the Movie Watchers Club, but I did see it in stores, so I know that after the Treasures version, there was another edition of Davy Crockett put out, and I didn't get that because I had the Treasures, didn't feel the need. But there's a real cool shot of Goofy. All of them did have these artwork cards from the very beginning to the very end. like I said, only the first 2 waves don't have certificates of authenticity. They're just stamped into the 10s. So if your 10 got separated from your DVD case, then you wouldn't have any record of what printed number it was. And then we got this business reply card here that was in there. I think it's in all 3 of the editions from this wave. I'll just show you this first one, and when we look at the next one, I won't repeat it again, because it's really, you know, nothing special. But I like to document everything that comes with these, everything that I got with them, as much as I possibly can. And so for the sake of completeness, there it was. Alright, so moving on to the next one, we've got Behind the Scenes at Walt Disney Studio. And you'll see the number I got on that one is 88,701 out of 125. So not a particularly awesome collector's number, but I'm just glad to have a copy of it, period. And that was the lowest number in the store that day. I can guarantee you, if I'd have seen a lower one, I'd have picked it up. And my recollection is I bought all the early ones, at least. Maybe some of the later ones I bought at Best Buy, but all the early ones I bought at Costco. And I did look through them, and they were all fairly close in number. So I don't know how much effort they did mixing the batches up, going out to the different stores. But like I said, when you were looking at your choices, they were all pretty much within the same range. So you weren't going to get, you know, a whole lot of choice there in those numbers. And then looking at our band here for this one, we've already discussed the band, so I'm not going to repeat myself on that, but they went around the 10s. And then looking at the discs, we've got pretty cool, I like that, Mickey Avenue. I've never been to Disneyland or Disney World. Wife's been to both. She went to Disneyland before we were together, and she went to Disney World with our niece without me. And so she may have seen that sign in real life, if it actually exists, I don't know. They covered up what's on behind there, but it does look like a crossroads sign, and we just get to see Mickey in that particular instance. But yeah, I'll have to ask her. I'm sure she doesn't remember. It's been a long, long road, and quite a few years since she went to either one of them. I always wanted to go to Disneyland, but just never made it there. And then this portrait of Walt looks like it's the same as what was in the other booklet there from Wave 2. And that statement may be the same as well. Don't have photographic memory, so I don't know. I know I just showed it to you, but I didn't read it. I was just trying to get it filmed, get it under the camera so you can see it. And that sketchwork there does seem to be the same as what it was on a lot of the volumes, if not all. And there again, keep repeating myself, but on the front lines is the one that was different from all the rest. So quite possible they didn't have that sketchwork there on that one, because they did do the layout of the booklet was different. It didn't have Walt on that inside cover, and it didn't have Mickey sitting on the first letter of that paragraph on that second page. So I'm pretty sure it didn't have that same sketchwork repeated on the front lines, which had the most printed copies, 250,000 copies on the front line. It's probably, I haven't looked at prices recently, but it's probably the most affordable of the Disney treasures to get your hands on, I would have to speculate, because of it having such a large printing, whereas Donald Duck Volume 4 is the most expensive from the prices I have seen, simply because of the fact that there were so few of them made. This is kind of neat. I don't know whose hand that is. They don't tell us, but somebody drawing Mickey there. And I think that's a still from one of the videos on one of the discs. The back of the booklet is the same as what we just looked at a minute ago from the Goofy. and I'm not going to rehash and go over it again because it's the exact same, nothing different. And then this one had, you know, one of my shorts that I really liked from Walt Disney, The Reluctant Dragon. And I believe when this came out, this was the only place you could get this. It has since been released on some other titles. It may have been released on VHS at some point, but on DVD, for quite a while, this was the only way to get The Reluctant Dragon. And I did like that, that cartoon. That was a really good work of Disney. All right, and then we have got the same business reply card that was in Goofy. All right, so that covers Wave 2 for us. Like I said, we'll cover Mickey Mouse in 2 videos, covering 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 separately at a later date. So join us for those when they get posted up on the channel. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I can always use some thumbs up. We like the thumbs. And have a great day. We'll talk to you again another time.